What's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. As always, I am one of your two co-hosts, Easily Shinobi, and with me, fresh off his trip from getting another PS5 controller, we have Green Spectre.
Wow, why you gotta leak me out like that, huh?
I just said you got another PS5 controller.
Yeah, why you gotta leak out my info? Don't tell me in
How's
public.
how is that looking at your info?
Because I went to the store, someone could have spotted me.
Dog, you do realize we have no visuals for the show, right? Nobody knows who you are.
Not yet.
What do you mean, not yet?
See, soon.
God. And with that, I think we wanted to kick this thing off with a little bit of joy before heading into some kind of sad news that happened after our last recording this past Saturday. And gonna bring it up here. I know this has been news for about a week or so now, but yeah, heading into the Hololive area of things. Sarah Spana announced her graduation last Saturday on a basically on a surprise stream. She did say that her final stream will be on January 3rd, 2025. According to her, her graduation was due to a disagreement with management, but she will continue to stream after graduation. She did say on it that she still enjoys doing doing the singing and doing the streaming and collaborations. It's just it's just a disagreement with Hololive management, and that's why she felt that it was time to do the graduation. But yeah, no, that one because that happened like an hour after we recorded last time, and that kind of caught us off of left field.
Oh yeah, it's very sad
Yeah,
because
yeah,
a lot of stuff can happen because of disagreements with managements, updated contracts, and especially a lot of studios now that are either trying to trying to can't be smart right now. They're trying to incorporate AI to their like systems and whatnot,
mm.
and then you have the other side of people that are like, why can't we just do it a traditional way? There's no reason for AI stuff.
No, yeah, and I don't think it's AI. They just think it's a general disagreement over something. We'll find out, and that's perfectly. Honestly, that's a good route to take because I mean, in the end, it is between her and Hololive. I mean, us as kind of like spectators or fans of streamers is like yeah, all we could do at the end is just support them and support like their future ventures and stuff. So yeah, it's basically going to continue on at least for the month of December. The plans choose that she has, according to her announcement. And yeah, I mean, all we could do is wish her the best, and let's see where she pops up in this next life.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes contractual disagreements that do happen. That's the reason I have Spectre locked down on a 365 deal. Shout out, Chicos Toxicos for the tip. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere out of the Otaku Kickback Sessions, man.
Not unless I end myself. Haha.
Ha! Jokes on you. I know fucking necromancy.
I would make a joke, but I'm not allowed to be racist.
Nah, nah, get the fuck. Moving on before we dig ourselves into a deeper hole. Um, some other news that also came out around the same time that um after the Fonda graduation is has to do with Eiichiro Oda. So it was announced that Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, is going to participate in Saikyo Jump's Dragon Ball manga cover redrawn exhibition. This exhibition did get started in 2021 to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Dragon Ball manga. And so there's, I believe, if I remember correctly, there's only a handful of spots left for the redraw covers or for the redraw project. And Oda is the latest mangaka to get basically one of the cover spots, and so that I believe is coming out in Saikyo Jump's Volume 12 of I think that's coming out in January 2025. And he's going to be joining other artists as Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, Tite Kubo, creator of Bleach, and Gege Ukutami, creator of Jujutsu Kaisen, among others. And so, yeah, and I do believe that he is dedicating this one to Akira Toriyama. So I'm looking forward to see what Oda has created for the redraw.
And while we're on the topic of One Piece,
Hmm.
a little sad news.
Oh,
Kazuki Yao, the voice actor for Frankie, uh, announced his retirement.
oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yao announced earlier this month that he will be officially retiring from One Piece as the voice of Frankie, saying that he can no longer envision himself as Frankie and give off the same energy.
hmm.
Luckily, Kazuki is in high spirits and tweeted that his replacement for his character has already been chosen and will be revealed at Jump Fest later this month.
Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Movie 1 got announced to premiere in 2025. There's no exact date as of now, but the trailer did drop for the first Infinity Castle movie a few days ago. In case you haven't heard, the arc will be split into three movies. So, and that'll essentially round off the Demon Slayer anime adaptation. I'm looking forward to it. I still got to watch the basically season 4 and season 3. I've been a bit behind on my Demon Slayer watch, so that's essentially, if you're the same as me, now's the perfect time to catch up with it before the movie comes out in 2025. Speaking of movies, we did get some news yesterday regarding Avengers Doomsday. Chris Evans is back.
Yeah.
That was surprising. And so it hasn't been announced what role is going he's going to take over in or he's going to take in Avengers Doomsday. I wouldn't think he would be Captain America, seeing as we got basically the Sam Wilson, or we're at the point of time in the timeline that we're getting the Sam Wilson Captain America. But you know, it'd be funny
What?
if he came back as Johnny Storm from Deadpool and Wolverine and from Fantastic Four.
Oh, the shit talker.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
God, especially
Somehow gets revived and brought out of the void.
yeah, that would be a good fit for it. So, yeah, but I'm kind of interested to see what he would come back as. Do you have any guesses?
Eh, none that I can think of.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, no surprise. One thing that I'm pretty sure we'll find, depending on who you are, whether it's good news or bad news. So according to the leakers, it's nothing made official yet. Hatsune Miku is coming to Fortnite. There's no estimated date yet, but apparently, the person that leaked it out is a reliable leaker when it comes to kind of like Fortnite news and whatever's happening in the upcoming seasons. And so, yeah, Coachella headliner Hatsune Miku is now going to be in Fortnite, eventually coming in 2025.
Yep.
You sound a little disappointed there.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Oh god.
It's not like I like Hatsune Miku or anything.
You sure? You sure you don't like Hatsune Miku? You sure you don't have playlists of Hatsune Miku?
Oh no, for sure. I just don't like Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried it out. It just isn't for me. I'm not gonna completely hate on it. It's just
I
not for
am.
me. Two sides of the same coin. Let's keep this thing rolling. Fire Force season 3. So the new trailer did drop earlier this week. For it, it was also announced that season 3 is going to be split into two parts. Part one is going to be airing in April 2025, and part two is going to be airing in January of 2026. It's kind of surprising though, because I would have thought that. So usually when an anime gets split into two parts, it's usually kind of like done within the same year. But I'm assuming the studio behind it is taking their time to make sure that this, because I don't think is season three the last season of Fire Force, or
Supposedly, the movie that another studio is going to do is set to be
okay,
the final anything with
with Fire Force.
yeah, but nothing is set, nothing is confirmed. All of these are just rumors and leaks. The only thing we have to go for is that it's getting another season, and who
Yeah,
knows if this is the last season or if they're gonna milk it, have a season 4, and then maybe a movie to finish things off. Who knows? At
yeah.
this point, take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah, basically the only thing that got announced was season three, and basically when the two parts of season three are airing. But yeah, part one April 2025, and part two January 2026. This is actually a series I've been meaning to get into as well. So, um, and then again with Demon Slayer, now's the perfect time to catch up on it and see what's been going on. I have seen at least some of the fight scenes on it. That shit looks gas, and so I'm looking forward to checking out. Um, Konosuba season three is getting. It was announced earlier today that there's two new OVA adaptations coming out for it. A trailer has been released for it, and it will premiere in theaters in Japan on March 14th, with the Blu-ray and DVD release coming out on April 25th. For what I've seen on the screen captures on the trailer, it looks like they're doing a beach episode. And you actually like this, dog. Uh, we get Weez in a swimsuit.
I mean, I can just look at Rule 34 and see that all the time.
True, true, true. But this is
But this is
official.
official.
This is official
Whoa.
swimsuit. Same here. I'm happy to see Darkness in a swimsuit. My,
So you're an M, I see.
all right. No, here's how I look at it. Darkness, the angelic knight, freaky. La Latina, freaky, but she has a heart of gold.
Huh, angelic?
Don't you judge her. Don't you judge her. She just has acquired taste. That's it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh man.
I mean, this is just a hot take, but name an anime where the woman or person of God isn't a closeted masochist or a huge pervert. Oh
Honestly,
wait.
yeah. I mean, fuck, I can't really think of any right now. You're kind of putting me on the spot. Maybe
Exactly.
maybe the listeners have an idea, but yeah, and actually, a woman of God that's holy, not like crazy holy. That is like, oh, I'll kill like 50 people in the name of the good Lord, or but actual like saint like. But yeah, finishing up my side of the news, Delicious and Dungeon is having a pop up store inside select Kinokuniya stores for the following locations: New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Carrollton, Seattle, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. And so that's going to be running starting tomorrow on the 13th, or today, since the episode is going to come out on the 13th, all the way to January 2025. And just to reiterate, season two has been announced, and it's currently in production, but with no release date yet. Which I would assume that it's going to come out on Netflix, seeing as how season one was popular on Netflix. But yeah, if you live in New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Carrollton, Seattle, San Francisco, or LA, and there's a Kinokuniya store nearby you, go check it out when the pop-up store's happening. Supposedly, it's the same merchandise that they were selling at an Anime Expo. So if you weren't able to make it to Anime Expo in time, now's your second chance at it. And I believe you have some stuff that you want to talk about, man.
But of course. I have tons of stuff. First, let us talk about the Sony situation.
Another update.
Sony has confirmed their interest in acquiring Kodakawa.
Mhm.
And this is a direct quote. It is true that we have expressed our initial intentions of acquiring this individual company. And this is an update from the employees. Employees at Kodakawa are excited about the thought of Sony acquiring the company due to unhappiness with their current leadership.
Okay.
Wow, looks like someone at Kodakawa isn't leading their company in the direction that will make everyone happy.
Yeah, exactly, and that is one of the bummers, and not just in mangas and manga or anime studios, but in kind of the corporate world in general. There is some leadership too that basically, they they pretty much pass along a set of rules, or they essentially try to change the culture, and that makes people unhappy. I have first hand experience witnessing this, and so pretty much I do feel for the workers of Kadokawa of if they're excited for it, mainly because they're hoping that there's a change in leadership and there's a change in management. So it seems like this is in the end, this is basically kind of like a best for both party situations. And so all we gotta hope for is for consumers is that, or as consumers is that there isn't really any strict or harsher regulations when it comes to kind of like basically anime or manga or any video games that get produced now from the new Kodakawa under Sony and stuff. So yeah, well, at least it's good to see that Kodakawa is still going to be alive.
On other news, getting away from the Sony stuff, Shonen Jump's 10th anniversary celebration, released with a wonderful illustration of all current animes stars.
Yeah,
Dandadan, Kaiju number 8, Anya in a red dress in the middle, and a whole bunch of others protagonists that have released or are yet to release as they are drawn in their anime and manga formats.
yeah. I'm surprised because this is the 10th. Just to clarify, this is the 10th anniversary for the Shonen Jump Plus app, which is the
Yep.
app where you could read manga and stuff. I have it. It's honestly for like I think it's for like $1 or so. It's a pretty good deal because they give you a ton of access to a ton of the Shonen Jump manga as well. But yeah, I'm surprised. It's been 10 years since it came out. Man,
Oh yeah.
I honestly thought it's been like 7 or 5 years since it came out. So yeah, happy anniversary to Shonen Jump Plus. Thank you for providing me for all the good manga that
I mean,
uh,
if you wanna talk about old, I mean, we can talk about Attack on Titan
yeah.
and it being released 12 years ago today.
God, that feels old. God, that feels old as hell. I remember, fuck, dude. I think we were still in high school when the anime came out too.
Yeah.
Um, and because I remember hearing about it at the time, I was like, "Oh, this sounds pretty cool." And then turns out it ended up being one of the better stories over the past decade and stuff. So, yeah, happy 12th anniversary to Attack on Titan. And if you're anything like us, yeah, we're getting to Unk status, or that, or we already there. So,
Man, I've been an uncle since I was 12. It's
yeah,
nothing new to me.
yeah, same here. Basically, been an uncle since I was in middle school, thanks to my niece. Shout out her. If you listen to this, stay in school or continue to stay in school. Be smart. Don't be like me.
Be like him.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Learn how to do algebra. Trust me. It helps you out in the long run. Probably. I don't know. I don't use it on daily life. Anywho, what else we got for us?
From bureaucrat to villainous, Dad's been reincarnated. The anime is set to release January 9th, 2025 by
Ooh.
Studio Ajua Do. I'm
Hmm.
probably butchering it.
Oh, okay. I did see the trailer for that drop in passing while I was scrolling through stuff on my phone a few days ago. Do you know what it's about?
It's about a dad who gets mysteriously sucked into his daughter's dating visual novel,
Hmm.
And when we thought, oh, he's probably going to be like the main character in the Prince or someone special, no, he becomes the antagonist of the game.
Okay.
And because his daughter talks about it nonstop, he has somewhat knowledge of the game already. Obviously, the way he gets transported into the game is Truck-kun.
Okay.
After saving a kid who was playing in the street like the dumbass he is.
It's just a kid, man.
Exactly, kids are dumb.
Man.
Anyhow, he gets isekai'd into the game that belonged to his daughter, and now he's gonna try to figure out. All right, I'm the villainous, so I'm gonna try to incorporate my business knowledge so that I don't suffer a death flag.
Okay. It was kind of similar to the time I was reincarnated as a villainous.
Yeah, all routes lead to doom.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Except in this case, it's more so that that out of the Truck-kun Isekai portal, it seems like basically he's going to start using more of his business savvy to essentially help him out through the game. Now, the thing I'm wondering is, seeing as how there's that comparison, does he get a harem of both men and women? But
Probably
he,
not.
but he's completely oblivious to it, just like Catalina is.
Well, I mean, the difference is Catalina was a chick. This is a grown ass 40-year-old man who knows he's a dude, and he's like, you know what? I probably don't want anything to do with the dating sims. I'm just here so that I don't die. Self preservation and all that.
Well, kind of bad for homeboy if it is a dating sim because he's.
Because it is a dating sim.
Yep. At that point, it's like you don't get a choice whether or not you want a harem. You're going to get a harem, and you're gonna have to live with it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, first world problems at that point. Does it have? I don't believe it hasn't released it yet, right?
I already said the release date.
Did you now?
Yeah, January.
Cool. Well, so it's coming out January 2025. So be on the lookout for that. It seems like it's going to be quite an adventure. Anything else you got for us?
Tokyo Ghoul Anime will have a special panel at Jump Fest 2025 on December 21st, 2025 to celebrate its 10th anniversary.
Damn, it's been 10 years since Tokyo Ghoul's been on, or the anime.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they're already planning a future panel for next December.
Don't wonder what it is. I wonder if it's going to be kind of like probably like a spin-off series or a remaster of the anime. No, or
Who
that or
knows?
yeah. So, well, basically, just if you're a fan of Tokyo Ghoul, be on the lookout for it.
Yeah. On other news, the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. Anime is set to air January 12th, 2025 by Studio Satellite.
Satellite. I don't believe I've heard of that one before, but it did because I know the trailer for this one did drop, I believe, like 2 days ago.
Yep.
It looks interesting. It's essentially kind of like, I guess, to put it in basic terms, it's essentially kind of like if a Power Ranger was transported into a fantasy world.
Or a more popular version, Kamen Rider.
Common Rider. If a Common Rider was transported into a fantasy world, and so pretty much he's trying to use his or he uses his powers to try to slay monsters, but he's also trying to figure out how to get back to his world and how to navigate this new world that he got into.
While still keeping his heroic attitude.
This is gonna go wrong in so many ways.
Yeah, especially when you realize the visuals for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, looks like he still has access to his Megazord.
Doug, can you imagine can you imagine if he goes into a random village, basically with the intent of rescuing it, but then the villagers turn on him, thinking that basically his Megazord is this magical beast.
Oh yeah, all sorts of cliches will come about that.
Oh man, I can't wait for it.
In other news, let's talk about some culture, shall we?
Ah, yes, culture time.
For all of those men of culture, the etchy anime I am a behemoth, an S ranked monster, but mistaken for a cat. I live as an elf girl's pet. The uncensored version is set to air January 4th, 2025 by Studio Zero GX Saberworks.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the censored version air like not that long ago, or is this kind of like a brand new premiere in general?
This is special because we rarely get uncensored version of popular anime.
Okay, okay.
So even though this already finished, it's already been done, the uncensored version is set to release next month.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, no, because that anime does sound familiar. I could have sworn it aired like in spring of this year or some point last year. But yeah, no, this is. If you're a man of culture, yeah, this is gonna be re-airing, but this time in uncensored. So yeah, if you're looking forward to it, or if you've been praying for this, you got your prayers have been answered.
It has. Now let's talk about Castlevania.
Ooh, okay.
Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 is set to premiere on Netflix January 16, 2025.
2025. Oh, okay, so we're about a month away. I did see the trailer for this. It looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I did see season one of Castlevania like a few years ago. Um, I don't remember much about it, but I do remember like basically it was a pretty cool. It was a pretty good anime. And all that, and basically the way they kind of painted Dracula at the start made him really look like a sympathetic character and all that, and you kind of knew why he turned on the humans because like they killed his wife. I mean, why wouldn't you take revenge on humans after that point? But yeah, be on the lookout for Castlevania Nocturne season two, coming out next month on January 16th.
Oh, yeah. And I heard a lot of good things about Castlevania. I haven't watched it. I have a Netflix, but I just don't have the time of day to watch it.
I will say this though: the English stuff for it is pretty solid. So, if you want to watch it in the dub, it, it's not the it's a pretty good option. It's a pretty they do some good work on it.
Now, let's talk about a interesting anime.
Go ahead.
Danjor. Can a friendship between a boy and a girl hold up?
No.
No, it can't.
Uh,
TV anime is set to be released in April 2025 by Studio JC Staff.
JC Staff is the one that did Accelerator and stuff, right?
Yep, they did a certain scientific accelerator, a certain scientific railgun, a certain magical index, and they have plenty of other stuff as
Hmm.
well.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I did hear about this one when the anime adaptation got announced. I know some people were looking forward to it, and basically, because it's pretty much just explaining the story of two childhood friends that pretty much they want to see if it's true, if that whole trope is true, that childhood friends eventually fall in love, and trying to see like how long they can last. And I might be wrong on this, but I think they're trying to see how long they can remain friends before avoiding like feelings and stuff. Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And yeah, it does look interesting for the most part. And from the trailer, it does look like it's gonna be one of those pretty funny rom com animes. So a misunderstanding. So, we'll wait and see.
Now, let's go on to something good.
Ooh, what do you got for us?
Apothecary Diary Season 2 is set to air January 10, 2025, and it has been confirmed to have 24 episodes.
Nice. So pretty much like season one, because check Crunchyroll before we went on the air, and I did see that Apothecary Diaries had season one had 24 episodes. So it looks like it's following the same count.
Oh, yeah.
hmm And yeah, and it looks like basically I did do quick work on this because I remember season one ended like back in October or a few months ago, and so with season two coming out like right afterwards, and they want to capitalize on the momentum of it.
And I really hope they do. I mean, so far, they've been doing a really wonderful job.
Oh yeah.
Toho X OLM Studio.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I know it got really popular, and as well as the manga. I guess it's a lot of people love the manga so far too. So looking forward to it. Actually, that's probably like the next thing I should start binge watching because I heard it's also really funny as well.
Now, let's see. What else do I have in my little bag of tricks? Ah, yes. Madoka Korawi
I was
is,
go- I got scared and I thought you were going to say Madoka Magica, and I'm like, fuck no, what are they going to do now?
well, now that you mention it,
No, 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 no. Let's not open that. Let's not open that.
what you mean? That's a band-aid everybody has to rip open.
Hell no. Hell no. Do you like seeing magical girls get brutally slaughtered?
I mean, you're talking to someone who used to watch Happy Tree Friends in middle school.
Right. I guess I forgot I was talking
Not to
to.
mention the Pain Olympics, bestgore.com.
Live League.
Eh, Live Leak is kind of weak.
No, but continue on with your announcements.
Medica Korowi is impervious to my charm. Is listed with 12 episodes, but no release date yet.
No, okay. What's it about?
So it's about this dude who is in monk training. So he's like, all right, I have to go through all of my life to my adulthood. No impure thoughts, no lewdness, no other stuff, nothing. I have to keep my mind and body pure.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the popular girl, the typical popular girl, blonde, purple eyes, all that jazz.
Essentially the idol of the school.
Yes,
Mhm.
everybody adores her, and she's able to turn everyone's heads to look at her, except for him, except for
Mm.
Medica,
Okay.
because he is training to be a monk. So he obviously knows, yeah, she's a popular girl. I gotta avoid her because she's pretty, and I can't have those kind of thoughts
Mhm.
out of my life. So he tries to avoid her, which in turn piques her interest because it's like everybody looks at me except for this guy. So I'm going to give it my 100% to get him to fall for me, and then I can dump his ass and just be like, ha ha, he he. Unfortunately, situations happen where she starts to fall for him.
Ah, okay.
So she tries to make it her mission. I gotta have him fall for me before I fall for him.
Ah, okay,
It's
okay.
a funny rom com.
Oh, sounds pretty funny. It is kind of funny because I can see this dude essentially telling himself like, oh, nah, I gotta every single ounce of my energy has to go into it has to go back to the Lord. I can't think of this woman in any sort of way.
Or one with Buddha,
The one with Buddha,
since
exactly.
he's training to be a monk.
A Buddhist monk, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So my man is trying to be all one with nature and shit. So but yeah, no, that sounds like a really funny manga.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, be on the lookout for that one. Anything else you got for us?
Yes. Monochrome Days is switching to bi-weekly release dates.
Okay.
And here is the note from the author themselves. Thank you so much for always reading Monochrome Days, dear readers. Your warm and supportive comments are always a huge encouragement. As for the note, Monochrome Days will be publishing every other week. From now on, the main story will be updated every 2 weeks. The reason for this upload change isn't because I've gotten sick or because there are some circumstances that I can't tell you about. It's simply that I can't keep up with the art. Sad face.
Okay.
So from now on, the story will be updated as so. Main story, 1 week later. Bonus manga, 1 week later. Main story. Also, another bonus manga will be uploaded every other week, so please look forward to it. I recommend adding this to your favorites so you do not miss it when it gets updated.
Hmm.
Thank you for your support.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense too, because I mean we have seen before where, um, the keeping up with the demand of a weekly manga does, in the end, it does cause impacts to artists' health and stuff. And so it's good to see, like, basically them, or it's good to see this manga kind of scaling down, and it's like, you know what, let me do it bi-weekly instead, so that way, I could so that was it doesn't affect them. And so, and well, it's much respect to it too, because if it's one of those things where you're having trouble keeping up with the art, it's, it is good to be able to have that basically extended time to, and bi-weekly.
I couldn't agree more. We got to remember that our favorite artists, our favorite producers, they're all just people too. And when sometimes they get pressured to, like, oh, I want a new chapter every week and all that stuff, it's not going to happen because then they're going to be stressed. They're going to be, you know, put in a hard place, and then they get severely sick, and then you'll be one of those creators, well, where they're going to take a month off because of stress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, it's better basically to let them, give them their time and give them their space, so that way they could, have the basic energy to continue to create and continue to have a passion for the works. And honestly, that is a good part about manga in general. There's always loads of manga, loads of manhwa to read to basically capture your interest. In the meanwhile, you wait for the newest chapter of your favorite manga to come out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, much power to him, and hope the biweekly schedule works out.
And on a last note,
Mm-hmm.
Black Butler Emerald Witch Arc is set to release on April 2025
Mm.
by Studio Cloverworks.
Nice. Does it say how many episodes?
No.
Ah,
So
okay.
far, we only have a release month, and that's it.
I'm guessing it'll probably be like around 25 and stuff. Black Butler, that's a name I haven't heard in a good amount of years. I remember back in middle school, that if it wasn't Dragon Ball or Naruto that you would hear, like, basically people talk about, there's a high chance that Black Butler was one of them. And so basically, now that it's kind of making a comeback, I'm pretty sure the people that were OG fans of Black Butler are excited for this.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. All right, now what do you say about a 3 episode review? Shall we?
Sure.
For sure. So I know you took care of it our last episode, so I got one, and it's been one that I've been kind of meaning to bring up for like the past month or so. I know I put this series a bit of on pause, and meanwhile try to catch up with like Overlord and Slime and Solo Leveling. But this is one that came out, I believe, it was this year. I think it was in the fall. It's called The Ossan Newbie Adventurer, trained to death by the most powerful Bardi, became invincible.
Ooh,
And
what's it about?
So it's a fantasy manga, or it's a fantasy anime. It follows the MC. His name is Rick, and he is a 32-year-old former guild receptionist. But when the show starts out, he's actually heading in to take an exam to get his adventurer's license. Um, and it pretty much follows the same trope of like, or the same format as kind of like most fantasy animes, where you have your S rank adventures, A rank, and so on, going down the list. I believe the weakest rank is F rank. That you could get, and that's mainly for like the beginning adventures, kind of like rookies starting out in their 20s and stuff.
Yeah.
Thing is, in this world, yeah, so essentially you get like your magical abilities like when you're young and stuff, right? You get tested for them to see if you have a magical ability. Um, and pretty much from there, you're encouraged to train your magical ability when you're a kid, all the way. So by the time you're your late teens or early 20s, you could take the adventures exam. But the thing with Rick is the fact that he got tested for his magical ability when he was a kid. He followed the same circumstances. Doctor told him, "Hey, you do have a magical ability and stuff." The thing is, it never actually woke up for him, and so pretty much at that point, he kept, because he's motivated by this book. I think it's called the Adventures of Yamamoto. Is about this legendary knight that slays, I think, the Demon King, or the fights the Demon King and wins. And so, due to that, he's motivated. He's like, no, I'm gonna continue to be an adventurer. I'm not gonna give up on my dream and stuff. But by the time he reaches the age where he's supposed to already take the adventurer's license exam, his ability hasn't shown up at all. And so from there, and this is more so past the 3 episodes, because it does go. I think episode 4 and 5 goes more into his backstory and how his magical ability finally ended up waking up. Um, from there, he ended up taking the job as a guild receptionist, pretty much because his parents were encouraging him. It's like, no, you got to find a stable career. Your magical ability isn't coming up and all that, and so we want you to be able to take care of yourself and to make some money, especially for a rainy day. And he still has that belief that that he wants to be an adventurer, that he could be an adventurer, that it's only a matter of time that his ability is going to wake up. But as the years go on, that's when he starts deciding, hey, okay, you know what? Let me just let me find a stable job so that way I can support my parents, and I can also support myself and make sure that I at least have an income coming in. And for, I believe it's for like 8 years or so, he works as a receptionist at the guild. Up until his magical ability wakes up at age 30. After I'm not gonna go too far into spoilers, but after kind of like a incident with essentially kind of like a dragon that attacks his hometown and stuff, right? And from there, he makes up his mind. He makes up his mind now that, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna quit my job. It's the guild receptionist, and I'm gonna go and try to achieve my dream as an adventurer. But the thing is, he's pretty much, so by the time he quits, he's 30, and he goes on a 2 year training years or training arc. Um, and the one part about it is he gets trained by supposedly the strongest adventure rank, or the strongest adventure group out there is S rank adventures called I'm gonna butcher the name, so apologies ahead of that. Ori Chokum Fist, and their members include essentially a dark elf adventurer named Renette, who does accompany him in later on for like the adventures exam. Um, Broston Ashrock, who's a warrior, who's an orc that's a warrior monk, and he's mainly the one that trains him in kind of more hand to hand and strength training. Mizet Eldwarf, who's an elf that essentially is a weapons craftsman, and I do find this dude more funnier because he's essentially supposedly he's the best like S rank mage that you could that could craft and use magic to create new abilities and stuff. And it's literally revealed that this dude is able to create he's able to create guns and shoot that basically and infuse essentially create magic bullets to use for the guns and shit, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah, because one of the episodes they show up to kind of cheer Rick on for his adventure exam, or for one of the parts of his adventure exam, and pretty much he just pulls out an M4 that has I think like aqua magic or lightning magic on it. It's like, bro, this is kind of funny. Um, and finally, we also have Alushred Dracul, who is a 10-year-old vampire mage, but she's considered a prodigy for her time. And so, what they do in those 2 years is that they train Rick to get ready for this for his adventure exam, right?
Yeah.
And Broston, the orc, what he does is that he tricks Rick into thinking that basically all this training that they're doing, oh, it's only this is more fit for F ranks. This is what F ranks do. If you want to be an F rank adventurer, at the very least, this is the basics. This is the basic shit you got to do, right? But the truth is, they're putting him through S rank level training. So by the time he goes to take the exams, he's like pretty much just smoking through this entire thing with no issue, and which that theory turns out to be true because pretty much so one of the exams is essentially kind of doing is punching this punching bag that's pretty much made out of slime monsters and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's a green punching bag that supposedly I think signifies for the weakest slime monster, and pretty much they gauge how much your power is, how much physical power you have from it. And so everybody is taking their turn. The proctors for the exam are writing down the score, or writing down the scores and all that stuff. When Rick comes up, this dude, my man, just straight up fucking obliterates the bag. Think of Vegeta breaking the little like strength examiner in the Majin Buu arc for the World Martial Arts tournament.
Ah.
And so he just obliterates the bag, sends it flying through the wall and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And in his mind, he's like, "Oh no, I can't believe I, fucked up my chances of the exam. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do if they fail me?" But the products of the exam, first things first, they're already skeptical of the fact that a 32-year-old is taking this adventurers test with a group of basically 20 and late teen year olds, right?
Yeah.
And at first, and pretty much everybody among them thinks, okay, it's just an old man. What is he doing here? Up until he inadvertently proves that, okay, this isn't just a regular old man. Something's up with this fool. But yeah, he essentially goes through the exam and and he starts catching the attention of different people. One of the three of the people he catches attention from is this group of like high-ranking siblings. There's the oldest brother, the older sister, and then their little brother, who's essentially taking the same test that Rick is and stuff, right? And he's gloating about it. I'm a prodigy and all that. Witness my magic. All of it gets schooled by Rick in one of the, I forgot which test it was, but he ends up basically complaining to his older sister. The older sister challenges Rick to a duel, and I won't get too much into the duel, but she does have this ability because she's an angelic knight, right?
Yeah.
And she does have an ability where pretty much she can move at almost like light speed to the human eye, to the regular human eye. And when she tries to do this attack on Rick, he's looking at it as like, wait, why is she moving really slow? She's moving really slow. Is she trying to bait me? Oh no, did I mess up somehow? I'm not really sure. So he can see her at just like slow motion, while everybody else is just like, God, why isn't Rick moving and all that? He's about to get killed. Um, and so basically that ends up with her kind of second guessing herself, and then she ends up kind of tripping over like two pebbles and stuff, and she ends up kind of rolling over and all that. It's pretty funny in the end. and and then basically that's when it escalates to the oldest brother, who's like this A rank adventurer. Is pretty much He's pretty much one of the top dogs there, and so he ends up becoming the proctor for the third exam, and then that's when him and Rick get into a fight and start fighting it out. But I won't delve into heavy detail on it because it's a 3 episode review. I want to encourage y'all to watch this. The thing I do enjoy about this is that it's following on this kind of like newish trope that Kaiju Number 8 and Monochrome Days are doing, where it's essentially, kind of like the 30-year-old man, or the 30-year-old person who once had dreams of wanting to, be an artist, be an adventurer, be a kaiju hunter, and all that. And basically, they were told, like, oh, due to their abilities, it's not going to happen. And pretty much, like, at that point in life, after working, in what they consider stable jobs at the time, office jobs, cleaner, whatever, they decide, you know what, at age 30, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it, because if I don't, I can't live the rest of my life with, like, knowing that, hey, I can't, I didn't do anything about, like, about these dreams and goals that I had. And so that's the reason I really started watching this, and all that. And it was one of the ones that I saw as a recommendation on YouTube as well. But Loki is pretty good. I believe it's only 12 episodes so far. But yeah, I mean, that's in case you're in that boat with basically, you're around our age, like late 20s, early 30s and stuff, and you want to start watching more stories about, like, hey, I'm in my 30s too, but fuck it, I'm gonna go out and get and try to achieve this dream that I once had when I was a kid, and stuff, and because I want to be able to say at least I tried. And this is a good show to watch.
Yeah, just know that it's never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late, man. As long as you still got a breath in your lungs, and as long as your heart's still beating, go for it. I mean, it's never too late. I mean, we've seen real life stories of people going back to college to get their degree at like 70 or 60, and all that stuff. And in anime, like I mentioned, this is like one of my new favorite tropes, because it does speak to me, where it's like it's never too late, never too late to do that, start a project that you're passionate about. So yeah. Again, the anime name is the Ossan Newbie Adventurer. Trained to death by the most powerful party, became invincible. And, go check it out. I have a feeling it's a good. It'll be a good time to watch. All right. So moving on, we have some manga recommendations, or manhwa recommendations in this case.
Mine is the Extras Academy Survival Guide.
Okay.
You can read it for free on Webtoons. It has 36 episodes.
Okay. That's pretty good. What's it about?
So it's about this guy called Edward Rothschild,
Mm-hmm.
who is, I guess you could say, a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
He's a scumbag. He tried to mess with the protagonist. He tried to manipulate the entrance exams to get him kicked out. Tried to harass the protagonist's, I guess you could say, childhood friend and whatnot. Gets caught, and then gets evicted from the dormitories.
Mm-hmm.
Which then the main protagonist, typical person who reads a visual novel, he gets isekai'd into the body of Edward Rothschild, and now he's like, wait, where am I? Sees his reflection, realizes that I'm in the body of this dude, of this scumbag with a starting reputation that everyone hates him.
Really?
So now he has to try to not only come up with a way to survive, because now he's pretty much out in the streets, but because he has the knowledge of the visual novel that he's currently in, he knows all of the routes, and the only way he sees his survival in key is that he has to stay away from the main protagonist of the visual novel and somehow lead them to the best ending possible. Unfortunately, things don't go his way.
Oy. I'm assuming due to the fact since the body that he took over when he got isekai, seeing as how the dude had a bad reputation and all that, there's not that many people willing to help him out, right?
No, yeah, he has to do everything by himself.
Oy.
Not
Yeah.
only that, but he doesn't have anywhere to sleep, so he has to build a cabin in the woods.
Okay. Okay, and so pretty much from there, like, because I know you mentioned that the happy ending route, it's pretty much it's not the easiest route to take for him, seeing as how at this point not the well he has to pay for kind of like the I guess the all the stuff that the dude has done, right?
No, because think about it this way: you're an extra, a side character that has nothing to do with the story.
Hmm.
If the main character dies, then the whole world is affected because now everyone else dies. And if you're
Oh,
a
okay.
background character who has no impact and nothing to do with the character, and you have to somehow make sure that the protagonist does everything correct while trying not to talk with the main character a lot. And this is
Okay.
already having the terrible reputation that everyone thinks you're this low life scumbag.
Oh, okay. So basically, it's him trying to keep the main protagonist not just alive, but more so, he's also trying to keep him alive at the same time that people think, oh, he's scummy. He's basically a piece of shit, and trying to get in his way and all this stuff.
Yeah, not only that, but he's also been exiled and disowned by his family.
Oh man, this dude essentially
He
got.
has he has no backing whatsoever.
Hey, man, this dude got when he got isekai. They put him whatever isekai god is in that manhwa. Decided to give him the heart settings.
Yeah, kind of
Mm.
like South Park.
Ah, yeah, the game.
Yeah, the hard mode. If you know, you know.
God, no, yeah, no, yeah, but no, this is really interesting, yeah, because we never. So whenever we get like any manga or manhwa that basically where the protagonist is isekai is isekai into a villain, it's usually kind of like it's either comedic or they're isekai into like life of royalty and all that. But this is much kind of like you're isekai, but you're isekai into just a general scumbag that and you have no resources behind you, so you pretty much have to. You're on your own at this point.
Oh yeah,
No, that's
but it's a
a.
good read.
Oh yeah, I wanted that. I wanted that. How many chapters does it have?
Uh, well, according to Webtoon, because it doesn't go by chapters, it goes by episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It has 36.
Oh, okay. It seems like it's fairly new too, right?
No, it's been out, but it's new to Webtoon.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. So they just basically bought it. They just imported it over to Webtoon.
Yeah, I think the original source has about 54. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so the original source is way ahead. Unfortunately, there's no way to read the original source, so you have to deal with pirated sites or, read it for free on Webtoons and just wait a few days for free episodes to come out.
And honestly, that is a good part about Webtoon is not just the fact that it's free, but more so that they typically are good on updating stuff, especially to stories that you subscribe to. So yeah, what's the name of it again?
The extras guide. Yeah, hang on. Damn, you really closed hang me.
Did I
The
now?
Extras Academy Survival Guide. Oh yeah, my phone's charging. What are you talking about?
It's the Extras Academy Survival Guide. So yeah, if you have Webtoon, and all that, this is free. So everyone go check it out. Because this is it does sound like an interesting. It does sound kind of like an interesting setting where pretty much like All right, you're the villain. You're essentially the antagonist. You're the villain. You're essentially got reborn into being a scumbag, but now you have no resources to back you, so you're kind of fucked. And let's see how you deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my manga recommendation actually comes from Webtoon as well. Surprisingly, so is Webtoon based manga recommendation section. And so it's called Underground Reaper. It's a supernatural. I guess you could call it manhwa because since the physical violence came out, it was under manhwa, at least according to Barnes and Noble. Um, and so pretty much what it is a story that follows this young woman who got sent to hell after her death, and upon her arrival into hell, she meets the devil. And an element is kind of funny because the devil basically jumps down from his throne, and it's not like the depiction of the devil is like huge, well, like all red horns and all that. No,
Goat legs and a fucking, weird ass tail.
no, he does have a goat leg and a weird ass tail, but he's more so looks like a regular human. He just happens to have goat legs and a tail. But it does.
He's some dude named Jerry.
Fucking Jerry. When the hell did he become the king of hell? I wanted to become the king of hell. But yeah, he jumps down from his throne, right? And the first thing he says to her is like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of yours," and he starts shaking her hand and stuff, right? He's like,
Bruh. That's stink meaner level.
yeah, the stink meaner. You have to have been like you have to have done something fucked up for the devil to be, well, the devil himself to be a huge fan of yours. Anyways, so basically, the devil ends up telling her that she was originally supposed to be sent to the ninth level of hell, or the ninth circle of hell, and there's basically multiple circles in hell, with ninth being the most, being the worst circle that you could get into, and spirits are sent to essentially the circles are designated by like the severity of their sins. So in which case, if like you pretty much just like did very, very, very heinous and horrible actions, then ninth would you would essentially go to the ninth circle of hell. And so pretty much what the devil does with the protagonist is that they're talking and all that, and he offers her a deal, allowing her to go back to Earth, but in exchange, she's gonna have to become the new Grim Reaper. And so she's debating it. She doesn't know whether or not it's a good idea because first things first, she doesn't know what she did to basically get into hell, to be sent to hell, and especially the ninth layer.
I know
Uh,
what she did.
what did she do?
She didn't tip.
Yeah, no, ninth layer, center, no,
And she
no,
kicks puppies.
that's unforgivable. Tenth layer, tenth circle of hell, fucking, that's unforgivable. Anyways, so basically, because he offers her the deal, I was like, hey, I'll get you back in Earth, but in exchange, you got to be the new Green Reaper. And so he sets a quota for her. Basically, like she has to collect the one sinner human soul each day, and if she misses by, if she at least misses, if she just misses one day, then she'll end up in the ninth circle of hell for eternity. And so while she's debating it and stuff, right, and she's kind of like saying, "Oh, well, I don't really know if this is a good idea." The devil, in order to kind of show her the severity of like, okay, what's waiting for you if you don't take this, he sends her to the ninth circle of hell, and it's just this dark void called the Oblivion. It's a space of nothingness, and he tells her that's where you're going to be in until the end of existence itself. So basically, when whatever existence goes poof, she's just going to be in this dark void. Nobody there. There's no voices. There's nothing. It's just her and this vast, vast space of just darkness all around, and that's just game over. And so that does basically terrify her into taking the deal with the devil, and pretty much he sets a quota like, okay, you have to collect one sinner soul each day, or else you're going into the oblivion. And he lets her know that basically the way that she could tell sinners is that they're marked with a red X that only she can see because she's the Grim Reaper, right? And so gets her set up, gives her the power of the Reaper and stuff, and she goes back to the line of the living. And so she sees that there's multiple people, walking the street with red X's on their chest and stuff, right? And so she's still having second thoughts about this. She doesn't know. It's like, I'm not really sure if this is something I'm cut out for. So she heads into a bar, yeah, and all that to kind of try to process stuff. And that's when she meets a sinner who's like a friendly guy and all that, right? And so pretty much when he asks her name, she goes by the name of Scarlet, and by the alien Scarlet, based off the color of the X's. And so they get to talking, and pretty much they leave the bar and they start walking down, and all that. He invites her to kind of like go to his place to go check out, to go watch the TV and all that, and have a place to
Oh
sleep.
yeah, of course, because that always goes well.
Yeah, that always good. That it really always goes well. And so pretty much they go down this alleyway that was right near the bar. And then basically she's still debating. He seems like a nice guy. I don't think I could. I don't think I could pull this off and stuff, right? Up until she realizes, I think she's able to tell that he's about to pull out a knife, and then that's when she basically kind of, you know, summons her powers, and now he's scared. He's terrified. It's like, what the hell are you? And she tells him, and basically right then and there, she reveals that she's actually the Grim Reaper, and she slices him in half with the scythe. And so pretty much we do get a look into as to what the first sinner's sin was, and he was a serial killer. He would basically pick up different women and then murder them in the back in his apartment.
Oh, Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, pretty much. And so from there, because only so far I've only read up to episode 5 of it, and it's fairly good. And from there, he meets Scarlet meets this detective that basically followed them into the alleyway, and she tells him, oh yeah, you know what, he was trying to attack me, so I killed him in self defense. And so the detective's like, okay, you know what, just come down to the station so that way we can fill out a report, and all that stuff. And so from there, she remembers what the devil told her. But right before she got back to Earth, is that the devil gave her original body back, but with no extra power. So pretty much, if she dies as a human, that's it. Any injuries or any kind of like wounds that she gets, those there's no like magic cure or for any of it. That's It's pretty much you get injured like the same you would as a human. And if she dies again, then pretty much the ninth circle of hell is waiting for her. But yeah, it's fairly interesting. I believe so far in Webtoons it has 202 episodes. So for
So it's an old series.
Yeah, it's an old series, and it's not completed yet because they are on their mid-season finale. So I'm assuming it's going to be back sometime soon. But yeah, for basically 202 episodes, it's pretty good. So it's like a supernatural mystery manhwa. I won't delve too much into it because it also gives clues so far as to like the backstory of the detective that's helping out Scarlet and all that. But yeah, it's worth the read.
All right, what's it called again?
It's called "I'm the Grim Reaper." I did get interested in checking it out because we did see it in Barnes and Noble and stuff under the manhwa section. And Volume One came out, I believe, a few months ago, and it's just chapters 1 through 16 in the physical volume. So, in case you want to read more, you can pick it up for as a physical media. And in case you say, "Oh, I could fuck with this heavy," um, the rest of the chapters are there for free on Webtoon as well. So, yeah, I'm the Grim Reaper. Be sure to check it out.
All right.
All right, all right. Yeah, we're almost there to the end of the finish line, and I think it's time for our second of the end of the year categories for 2024. And so I was trying to think this over, and pretty much it does relate more to 2024, seeing as how with Gacha games, right? They're starting to blow up more in popularity. They've been popular since the pandemic, but now with new different Gacha games coming out nowadays, Um, it only feels right that we give it its own category. So this is for the Otaku Kickback Sessions, the best gacha game of 2024. Do you want to give yours first, or do you want me to give mine first?
You can go first.
Alrighty. Honestly, I was debating between Zenless Zone Zero and Nikkei. I'm gonna go with Nikkei.
Why?
So pretty much, I mean, yo, the Gyat aside, it's a pretty good story. Like I've delved more into it this year, more than I did past year, and honestly, like basically, what's the main story and the events, they've been pretty solid, especially this last one, the Old Tales event, where we got to see more of kind of like the second the second generation grim models and stuff, and see more of like, okay, what happens to the corruption and how the corruption got to the point where it is today, and all that is like, man, that thing, shit, that thing really hit. Um, by the way, side note, fuck Red Shoes. I knew the bitch was evil. I knew the bitch was evil since basically kind of like the first half of Old Tales and stuff. No one refers to the corruption as kind of in a bright light like she did, and think, oh, I don't think she's evil. Nah, she's evil. I knew it, and I was so happy to be proven right. But yeah, honestly, for what it's worth, gameplay wise, I will give it to Zenless. Zenless, I feel like it's a bit more of a better, a bit more better gameplay, especially since basically you could play it, due to the combos and stuff, and the different dynamics of it. But honestly, overall, probably, yeah, I would say Nika is my best gacha game for 2024. The payout is good, story is good. The events are pretty solid, especially if you're a first time player. They do entice you more if you're a first time player by giving you like multiple roles, and kind of having you walking you through the setup of the game and stuff. But yeah, Nikkei Goddess of Victory is my pick for best gacha game of 2024.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
What do you mean? You play it too?
Yeah, I play it too, but I don't play for the Gyat.
Lies, bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
I
I,
see no bull and no shit.
nah, I call objection. I call objection, sir.
Motion denied.
No, 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 no.
Court adjourn.
No, 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 no. I'm still staying in this court. I call bullshit.
Oh, then you can sleep here under the benches.
Oh god. All right. So what's your pick?
Girls Frontline 2.
Ghost Frontline 2. Ah, okay. So have you gotten around to playing it?
I have.
Nice. How is it?
It's good. It continues off of the mobile game.
Okay.
It's pretty much, if you haven't finished the story in the mobile game, doesn't really matter for new players because they don't give a shit. It has tons of lore. It follows the same commander. Um, just years later, he decides, "Fuck it, these people are using me. I've already learned and all that stuff. I'm gonna go independent."
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's what's interesting. Yeah, because honestly, when Girls Frontline, so I have played Girls Frontline 1 before. It's a mobile game, and I couldn't really get much into it at the time. And so when Girls Frontline 2 got announced, I honestly thought it was just going to be kind of like a 3D adaptation of the first game.
No, it's a continuation.
Oh, okay, so it's a full on sequel.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and pretty much I know this was really hyped over the past few months, when basically when the announcements came out, and then basically the betas came out like in China and Japan and Korea. And then it took a while for it to get ported over here to the US, but honestly, it's especially coming in clutch now in December. And I have seen people and basically give it a good review so far. And it's apparently that's your pick for the best gacha game of 2024. And it's just like pretty much every gacha game, it's free to play too. So if you have if essentially you have a good PC, that, or if you have it's available for Android and iPhone as well. Um, and like according to you, yeah, doesn't seem like you need to play the first game to get into the second one. Um, yeah, it's a good idea to check out Girls Pro Online too, or Nikkei.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are our picks for best gacha games. We're getting ready to ramp up on the last few episodes for 2024. For some more categories. Always always working on the line to try to figure out what to talk about. Oh, and before we sign off, we did go watch the Solo Leveling movie.
I was wondering when you'd bring it up.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get through our planned schedule before that, and so right now, okay. I'm not gonna. We shouldn't spoil it. Go watch this movie. Go watch it. Even if you, the good part is, even if you haven't watched Solo Leveling before,
It gives you a gist of what season one is,
yeah,
and then near the end, it gives you the first episode of season two.
the first two episodes of season two. So basically, the first hour is just the recap of season one, and then the second hour, because I believe the showing is for 2 hours. So the last hour is basically the first two episodes of season two. We definitely will spoil the first two episodes. All I gotta say is the fight scenes.
I will so Jinwoo.
Hey, wait a minute. So Jinwoo, he should have fucks one of the monsters, right? And he's going in that shit hard, and it's a beautiful cinematic performance. Nah, but we won't for real though. We won't spoil it. All I gotta say is the fight scenes in the first episodes, masterpiece. Um, and I do want to talk more about solo leveling later on in one of these episodes, but because I know I was binge watching it in order to get prepared for the movie. Dude, it's so good. It's such a good series.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
very good.
yeah. So yeah,
I can't wait for you to read the manhwa.
yeah. I know I have volume one and two bought, and I've been reading through it, and so far I'm loving it. I think volume two doesn't cover what's going to happen in season two. I think it's still covering what's happening in season one. But yeah, no, like honestly, if you want to get in more into anime, solo leveling is well worth it. Especially since it's 12 episodes. Since season one was 12 episodes, it's well worth it. Dude, the English dub, they really did a fantastic job at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, in case you want a quick recap, go watch Solo Leveling Reawakening in theaters. I believe it's gonna be in theaters for the next few weeks. Dude, it's worth every penny, honestly. Um, And yeah, let's. I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for season two. And looking forward to when it comes out. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I know we're kind of getting into about an hour and a half of recording,
Cool.
but yeah, we're going the distance, buddy. Well, yeah, thank you again for joining us for another episode of Otaku Kickback Sessions. As always, be sure to share, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram at Otaku_Kickbacks. As well, we're also on Blue Sky. Otaku Kickback Sessions on Blue Sky. I still gotta basically add on the social media links to the YouTube channel. Um, but yeah, go ahead, check us out. We'll be posting up any updates for any upcoming episodes, or any upcoming projects that we have going on there. But yeah, this should be coming out tomorrow, December 13th. So happy Friday ahead of time, and we're almost there to the weekend. We're almost there to Christmas as well. So it's a good time of the year. But thank you again for joining us. For Green Spectre, I'm Easy the Shinobi. Have a good Thursday night, good Friday night. Stay safe, and yeah, have a good weekend. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.